Welcome to the International Birch University podcast. Today we explore the intersection of art and artificial intelligence through the Academy of Sciences and Arts. Lecture titled The Machine That Dreams Sarajevo, delivered by artist Lamija Hasanefendic, known as Mia Fendi. Voted among the top 115 digital artists of her generation, Mia is an internationally recognized AI conceptual artist whose work spans institutions from the Art Institute of Chicago to the Oculus at the World Trade Center with a forthcoming commission for the World Economic Forum in Davos. Lamija, welcome.
Thank you, and thank you for this opportunity. I'm really grateful.
I understand you graduated. You actually completed an MBA at IBU. Is that correct?
Yes, and I firmly believe that Mia Fendi would not have existed if not for Birch University and master's studies, because what I've done, I've used everything that my professors here taught me and applied it to Mia Fendi. So, for example, what Professor Dr. Ermin Cero, what he taught me, that idea is just an idea if there's no realization of it. Mm-hmm. So I thought, let's do it. Then every time I was faced with a failure, I again thought of him, where he said, failure is not a failure, but a lecture. Learn from it and move on. The
professor teaches entrepreneurship, so no wonder.
But then I also learned a lot from Professor Potorak, also how to pitch, how to present my ideas correctly, then from Professor Sanel how to present it, how to report it. So every single lecture was a gold nugget that I've actually used to build this Mia Fendi adventure. And also I've been asked a lot of times, why not Lamija Hasanefendic, why Mia Fendi? Because in LA, where we lived for 8 years, no one could actually say Lamija. Not a single
difficult
word.
To pronounce.
Yes. Which I thought it would be super easy, but no, it wasn't. So what I did was I took Mia from Lamija, and I took Fendi from Hasanefendic. So it's still my name, but abbreviated.
How about the surname? Were people able to pronounce your surname?
Oh, it was. I was actually, whenever someone needed to say my name, they were like, Mrs. H. I even heard the version of Mrs. Hasta la Vista. I'm like, sure, it's fine.
It's Spanish, right? Tell us about the LA. How did you end up living in LA? What's the experience of living in LA in the first place? So
that was also an adventure in itself. I was working at the Qatar embassy as a head of consular office here in Sarajevo. And both me and my husband, we applied for the green card lottery that the U.S. Government is issuing every single year. We applied. 16 million people applied also.
Online, presume,
yes,
yeah?
All over the world. And when it was time to check, my husband checked first. It was, sorry. And then when I checked, it was across the entire screen. Congratulations, with confetti and with stuff. Yeah.
What a coincidence. What do we do now?
What now? So we thought about it a lot, and then we decided it must be a sign. Let's just do it, and let's go to LA. You can go pretty much everywhere in the United States, but we chose LA. It was amazing. It was a time where no one knew where Bosnia is, where when they would ask me, where are you from? I would say Bosnia. They were like, oh, Boston, sure.
Boston, yeah.
At first, I would correct them, tell them where Bosnia is. It's in Europe. We're Europe. You know Italy. No, you know the what's the name? I would explain how Italy looks like. No, it didn't help. Then after a while, I was like, sure, Boston. If I knew it was someone I would never see again, it was like, yeah, sure, Boston.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
I mean, LA is known as a highly, put it this way, stimulating artistic art scene.
Yes.
Would that be correct to say?
Absolutely. What LA taught me is that no idea is a bad idea. There's no bad idea. It's the only bad thing is if you have an idea, you need to talk to at least 1,000 people. So everything is a big numbers game because LA is a city of 14 million people, 88 cities grown into one. So if you have an idea, an American would never say, what a stupid idea. Why did you do that? No one would come to your exhibition. Are you an idiot? No. They're like, awesome. I can't really help you, but talk to this guy, talk to that guy. So it's how it works.
I know a guy who knows a guy.
Yes, absolutely. And so it also helped me to push on, to explore this. And when I started to look for jobs in LA, I accidentally gotten a job as a programmer. So I had to learn programming within 7 days to go to an interview.
Seriously?
Yeah. Because I applied for a communication specialist, and one of a huge part of that job was programming, actually.
Coding, as in coding.
Yes. Yeah. And even when
with no prior experience, I presume.
Zero. To me, that was all, I don't know, hieroglyphs. So I was super happy that they invited me for an interview. So I decided everything can be learned. Let's just do it. Make a big pot of coffee and don't move until you learn this.
Oh, that's a great attitude, yeah.
So that's what I did. So all of these experiences actually helped me move into art, into this adventure called Mia Fendi.
In this episode, this is for our viewers, we asked what Sarajevo might look like if dreamt by a machine, and how AI interprets the emotional texture of a city as the lines between artist and algorithm continue to blur. Now, this is a very spectacular intro, and the very topic you're interested in and you've been working on developing for quite some time is fascinating to me. I mean, it's technically highly sophisticated on the one hand, and on the other hand, there are some art effects that are being produced by that. So, Mia, tell us what it is that you actually do. I'm hearing the machine that thinks. I'm sort of sensing programming, but where is the art? What's the place of the art in the, let's say, in the house of the machine, in the mind of the machine?
Absolutely. So how I started with AI when it became mainstream. So my very first ever produced, let's call it artwork. It was just an idea. I made a prompt saying, give me a crocheted or knitted, give me a knitted octopus, colorful octopus in a glass jar. I wanted to see how, with all of these materials, how it could, I loved it. It was quite a cute achievement. But then I actually had a dream, because I kept thinking about it, what the possibilities are. And I had a dream, what if Picasso painted LA? And from that dream, I've realized now is the time to actually do something for myself, for my younger self, because I actually wanted to study art.
I see.
Here in Fine Art Academy of Fine Arts in Sarajevo. And but that happened very closely after our Bosnian War. So I was actually advised, if I wanted to live and survive in post-war Bosnia, art is not something that would give me a lot of options. So I decided, okay, I'm postponing my dream, and then I decided to turn into economics. But to go back to the topic of AI,
I mean, how did you get into AI? Was that an extension of this job, programming job, or?
No, actually, I got into it by myself because I was curious. I love to learn.
Okay.
And I was, this is something that it appears easy, but it really isn't. So what I did was I finished a lot of courses to learn how to talk to AI. It's basically prompt engineering, what I've learned, and I knew. So there is something I love this expression, juju, junk in, junk out. So if you don't give it a lot of restrictions, if you don't give AI restrictions, rules, or options, or teaching manuals, it won't produce what you really want.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Tell us about that briefly. You know, how does prompt engineering work? It's quite interesting, a topic. It's a current topic now.
It is. It's for today. It's, I think, best paying job in the world. Prompt engineering. It's not as simple as talking to ChatGPT. You really, depending what AI you're talking to, you need to know the parameters.
You're talking about the professional level.
Yes, professional level, of course. So let me explain it through what I did for Mia Fendi. So I've realized if I wanted, for example, I'm working with Midjourney. If I wanted Midjourney to produce an artwork that was painted like Picasso, what I did is I had to first teach AI who Picasso is, what he used, what canvases did he use, what pigments did he use, what brushes. So he would often use a brush. If he was working with oil paints, he would use a brush made of pig's hair, very thick. So all of those very energetic brush strokes and everything, that's how he achieved that. So I wanted to teach it also the philosophy behind every single thing that Picasso did. So I went really very deeply into it, as what all of these great masters, they had students of their own. So how they would teach their students.
That's a great point, yeah.
Is, let's see, a great example is Da Vinci. He would have 16 students at every point. What he would do, for example, when he was sketching Mona Lisa, he would, after the finished sketch, just with a pencil, he would actually get a student to put little dots all across the sketch and put a lot of sheets of paper behind. So all of his students could actually connect the dots and follow along with the perfect replica of what he did. So they could follow along. That's what I did with AI. I wanted first to teach it the style, and then what we did is, since my husband is a photographer, we went all around Sarajevo and we taught it what Sarajevo looks like. And then what I did, I had to teach AI what is Sarajevo. What are our strengths, our weaknesses, what's important for us, what's the history there, because every single artwork that all of these artists did, they took in all of those informations before ever starting to paint. So that's what I did, and that's why a lot of art critics say they can see the human, they don't see the machine in my artworks.
That's the reason, okay.
because everything is important. It's just, and then when they say, oh, it's just a prompt, I always say, yeah, but the founders of Midjourney actually emailed me.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's an interesting one.
A couple of months after I was into the project itself, to tell me that I was one of 0.00001 users who actually surpassed 10,000 prompts.
Wow.
And they wanted to congratulate me and give me options that would never be available to anyone else, because of course they were learning through my project with me. So I was grateful. So what
and they're familiar with your project through your prompts.
Yes, it's of course I've none of this is. I've bought commercial rights. I protected my artwork. I did everything as one should.
One can do that?
Yeah, of course. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So everything you do for free with these free options, you really don't have commercial rights to sell it, to do anything with it. It's just for your personal entertainment. That's what people forget. So it's That's owned important. Then by any AI company that you used it for. So those are the very distinct differences between using it for your own personal entertainment or learning or study, or using it in a commercial way like I did.
So how do you buy your copyrights? How does that work?
It's an annual subscription.
Through this subscription.
Yes.
So
that's what I did. So everything that I produced within that year, it's my own. No one can copy it.
During the paid annual subscription.
Yes.
Okay, and that's a very important distinction for those individuals, for those of us who want to commercialize our work, regardless of what we do, yeah? So it's very important to actually protect that work through paid subscription.
Yes, of course. Because
and to buy the copyrights, essentially, yeah.
Then you're fully protected. Even if Midjourney abuses my artwork, I have it in writing. So
that's very interesting. It's a great point. And also, let me just understand your sort of approach to prompt engineering. So what you do is really build a project. You teach the system by introducing photographs, perhaps books, perhaps textbooks, or anything of visual character, and in order to teach, and including your prompts, of course, in order to teach the system how to think in a certain manner.
Absolutely.
All right.
And then, after all of that is completed, then we go into the dreaming phase.
All right. Tell us about the dreaming phase. What's that?
So once we are on the same, as much as I'm teaching AI, I'm learning too. So when we are at the same page, then we go, okay, let's try this. How would we, so I've actually, for example, for William Turner here, he loved the power of nature. All of the storms, the snowstorms, the gray skies. He loved it. He was, of course, he was so committed to his art. At one point, he asked to be tied up on a pole on a ship during a storm. So everyone else went below the deck. He was there. He wanted to experience the storm himself, so he could paint it, so no one could tell him he imagined it. So what I used here, I used bistrik in a snowstorm, as if painted by William Turner.
Bistrik is a suburb in Sarajevo?
Yes. So because I love this part of town, I love our Bosnian houses, and this artwork was exhibited in Los Angeles, in New York. I'm sorry, and it received great critics. They couldn't believe this was an AI generated art. And a lot of them never heard of Sarajevo, so they went and checked that out. They loved the whole concept, so I'm really proud of this artwork. But for all of the other exhibitions that I did, where we dreamed also other cities, because I firmly believe everyone loves their own city.
Mm-hmm. But explain to us the concept of dreaming, what it is that you dream about. How does that work in the context of AI?
So what I would do, so after I would teach it with all of the parameters that I've collected, I would say, okay, now based on what Picasso mostly painted, his preferred let's say topics of painting. Let's do that. Let's imagine for Sarajevo, I use actually 20 of our most famous parts of the city, or our bridges, or I've even used pigeons, because Picasso, he started his art painting pigeons. He loved it because his father was an art teacher, and his specialty was painting pigeons. And I thought, Sarajevo, Bashcharshia, without pigeons, it doesn't work. So there's also a pigeon in Picasso's painting. So the dreaming part lasts for weeks, even though I taught it everything that I think it should learn. Then we start with the prompts, and sometimes I can get it within 100 prompts, but sometimes it takes months to get exactly what I wanted to achieve. Even though the grueling process of teaching AI, every little minute thing about every artist. So
how lengthy are your prompts? Like, how many lines approximately do you use per prompt?
100.
Wow.
Because I want it to be as restrictive as I can. So it doesn't go overboard. I wanted to preserve. So what I do is, for example, when you are uploading an image of Sarajevo into Midjourney, let's say, you can use that link and say, give it very specific reasoning to that link, and say, don't stray away from this, depending. So for Picasso, it's very vague, but for Hopper, who was, or for Jan van Eyck, who were very realistic painters, I couldn't allow AI to stray away from it. So I didn't want it to imagine. I wanted to still be a bit confined, but you also know when I was in primary school and in high school, when they would give you these restrictions and a white paper, it was much easier to paint. Other than when they would say, oh, it's a free topic, do whatever you want. Then you're so stuck with indecision, what to do, what now, what. So even for AI, I believe it's easier for it if you give it restrictions, if you tell it exactly what you want to do, because it wants to help you. It wants to produce something you would like.
Essentially, you're a painter whose brush is an AI system.
Absolutely, yes. So a digital brush.
Is this an established genre?
Yes, it's digital art. It's digital AI art. It's a conceptual art. So I was asked, what's conceptual art? It's a conceptual artist is a person who has ideas and then uses various tools, sometimes even other people, to build what you imagined. So we have the most successful artists in the world, for example, Jeff Koons and others, who've never built their artwork. They only had an idea, so they hired people to do it for them. So, but it's his artwork. So that's how this works.
I'm having some ideas now. It's fantastic. I'm thinking about let's say a competition or a category of AI-driven text writing, essay writing, something of that nature, where people would prompt ChatGPT or something like that in order to get an exact content or a highly nuanced content, that has that artistic sort of feel to it.
You can totally do that. So when I was stressing about people not emailing me back, what I did was I used, I don't know if you're familiar with him, you probably are, Ted Turner. He's the owner of CNN. He is a very a charismatic person, and I loved his style of writing and thinking. So what I would do is I would actually input 4 of his books to ChatGPT and tell it, okay, now I want you to research this person that I'm emailing, and then I would pull all of the interviews or books or anything they ever published into ChatGPT and say, okay, write an email in my name in a style of Ted Turner to this person. But then it wouldn't be an end. So what I would do is I would say, now read it as this person that I'm emailing this to. Every line. Let's see. Will it work? Will it not work? At that point, the percentage of my opened emails was it just skyrocketed.
Seriously, wow.
Yeah, and then I would think about the subject line because it's very important. But my most fun email I've ever done is the one I've sent to Louvre.
Tell us about that. I've heard a story, I think, about
So it was just when I just published my website. I finished 3 collections. I had the collection of Los Angeles, Dubai, and Sarajevo, and I wanted to see, is it worth it? And to me, I thought if Louvre says, oh, this is horrendous, I will just turn off my website and that'll be it. So I wrote an email to them saying that I would be honored if they would consider my collection, or I could make a collection Paris for them, if they would exhibit it at the Louvre. So within 24 hours, I received an email back, and it was such an exciting time because I thought about if I click it and open it or not. So it's like a Schrodinger's cat. It's a yes or a no. It's a yes or a no. So I clicked it. It was the most kind no I've ever received. But what they said
probably
is...
it was, they used prompt engineering as well.
Probably. But... so what they said is that they loved my collections, they loved my art, they were highly impressed that I could do that, and that sadly they don't exhibit anything that was created post 1825, but they believe that that Paris deserves my exhibition, and they connected me with the Ministry of Art and Culture in France. So that was a year after I had an exhibition in Paris. It was quite beautiful, but I think within 48 hours of my published website, I received an email, my very first email. I did not even know if my email worked at the time. I received an email from the Ministry of Culture of Zimbabwe.
Wow.
They've asked if I could create a collection of Harare, their capital city. And they've given me a grant and everything to go through, again, their Ministry of Culture. But one of to be able to use it, I had to have 5 exhibitions. My project was 2 days old. I had nothing. So I thanked them, and I'll probably do it at some point. But yeah, that was a huge signal for me that I'm going in a good direction.
Where do you exhibit? Where did you exhibit so far?
So my first solo exhibition was in Mostar, in the tower of, in a gallery, a labyrinth, in the tower of Mostar. So UNESCO heritage site.
Fantastic.
From 16th century. I mean, just it was staggering to think I'm exhibiting here. I'm exhibiting 523 years of art history at a place from 16th century, me from 21st century. I mean, something I've done with a computer, or as my mom would say, with a robot. So that was the first one. The second one was very close. It was in Bošnjački Institute, Foundation Adel Zulfikar Pašć, at the heart of Sarajevo. It was the most visited exhibition they had in 23 years.
How long ago was this?
This was 2 years ago. Oh. It lasted for 2 months. It was quite spectacular. I was so ecstatic. And then I exhibited, I think, 4 or 5 times in New York. New York, Mexico, Paris, Amsterdam, Athens, Dubai, Riyadh. So my very, very first artwork, the solo artwork of Hokusai, How Would Hokusai Paint Sarajevo, was recognized by the Embassy of Japan. And they've included it in
Bosnia.
In Bosnia, yes, in Sarajevo. They've included it in Hokusai's exhibition that's traveling around the world. They're the first ones who recognized Vijećnica, who recognized all of the part of the city in the Japanese style of Hokusai. And I couldn't believe that my artwork would hang one day at the Zemaljski Muzej in Sarajevo, our historic museum.
So your art is a form of cultural communication, diplomatic communication, perhaps. A new form, new genre, perhaps. Interesting, fascinating. And then you exhibited in New York, I understand?
Yes. I've exhibited in New York. I won awards. I was surprised.
Tell us about that.
What I did is I've finished an artwork. I don't know if you're familiar with it, from Marcel Duchamp. Marcel Duchamp, sorry. His famous artwork, Nude Walking Down the Stairs, I thought, what if a Statue of Liberty walked down the stairs in the style of Marcel Duchamp? And I've used that to, I've actually sent that artwork. And due to that artwork, I was awarded one of the 115 artists of the generation. So, and then I won awards with I think 4 or 5 other artworks in Mexico, in Miami, in Chicago. Oh, in Chicago, I've emailed the director of their, that's one of the oldest museums in the States.
Email is a form of art.
Absolutely. And honestly, if there was no AI, if I had to write every single email myself, and I do, it is still me, but it's a more easier and quicker way to communicate with people, especially if you're saying no. I love those beautiful, very kind no's that AI writes. So I wrote them an email offering an artwork from Hokusai of Chicago. So, and then the director really surprised me, and he sent that artwork to their curator for Asian art, Professor Dr. Janice Katz. And what she did, she included it into their exhibition of Hokusai, the originals.
Fantastic.
And she said there's a lot of people just collecting and looking at it and trying to see the differences. They loved it. So it was a huge achievement for me.
It's fantastic. The reason I'm asking about acknowledgements has to do with the recognition of your art, of your work as art, as legitimate, established form of art, artistic form. And it seems to me that it's being accepted throughout the world now that AI-generated art is becoming established, is becoming almost mainstream, if I should put it that way. Yeah.
Yes.
So there's a clear collaboration between men and machines, between people and machines. There's a clear between AI and humans, and this is sort of becoming a common occurrence from what I'm seeing in different disciplines.
Absolutely. I mean, I have a lot of friends who tell me, "Oh, AI will replace all of us." I say, no, AI will replace people who don't work with AI. So
a lot of people say that.
Yeah. So just it's a new way, it's a new age, it's an evolution. So go with the flow or be left behind. It's nothing to be afraid of, but you do have to learn how to use it correctly, because it's very, very apparent if you're using any AI without zero understanding of what you're doing. So it's that expression that I've learned of one of the AI lectures I've been at the my faculty of economics in Sarajevo, Jiju. Junk in, junk out. So you have to really know what you're doing. So just take care. It's easier, it's faster, it's more productive, but take into account it's not just writing a couple of sentences and expecting a glorious result, because it won't be glorious. It'll be everything we see now outside. You can always recognize AI art. So what I've achieved with a lot of curators, Sotheby's curator actually checked my artworks, and he said it's incredible how human it is. It's a sort of, he called my art a sort of meditation.
Interesting. Let me take this to the next level. Alain Badiou, a French philosopher, psychoanalyst, talks about art in the context of truth-generating procedure, referring to our own ability, our authentic ability to open up new perspectives, to provide new information, to add new insight into the understanding of the truth of humanity at the level of humanity. So when we sort of apply that to the three streams that I'm observing that are taking place right now, it would look something like this. On the one hand, there are human artists. We are very creative, very authentic in our core, in how we experience and express our creative ability. Then there are AI systems that are becoming authentic themselves as well. Would you agree?
Yes.
Now, AI is not simply producing or simply conveying information. It's actually producing. There's a level of authenticity to AI systems themselves, and this will become more, sophisticated as we go along. And then there's the third sort of stream, which has to do with AI-human collaboration. This is what you do, Mia.
Yes.
And you're not using AI simply to augment your ability in this case. You're using AI as a brush to paint. So it's a perfect synthesis, symbiosis, and more than that, perhaps a new form of truth-generating procedure in the world, a new form of authenticity, a new form of art, and a new form of truth, of propositions that actually add information, new information that's not been here before, that open up new perspectives and new understanding, which is the key, the new understanding of the world and ourselves. Would you agree with it? Is that does that
yes,
resonate?
Absolutely. So I think I could explain it with the Mostar collection, with the exhibition that I had there, because it was specific where the director of Herzegovina Mostar Museum of Herzegovina, he asked that the main character of all of my paintings would be the old bridge. And I was worried because I thought it would maybe be boring, but then in the end it's my favorite collection, because you have the old bridge painted in 34 styles. So I had professors of art and art critics at that exhibition who said, this what you did should be in textbooks, because the students would more easily understand the styles with something that they understand. It's our symbol. It's Old Bridge in Mostar. So I believe that's the human part of it, of how we can use something as artificial intelligence to augment our reasoning or our understanding of something, especially if someone is not interested in art. At least they can't say it's not interesting when they see it displayed this way, because it's something much closer to them. So also what AI can do is it can explain all of the maybe more complex ideas and concepts. So that's also something, if it explains it to you in a way, for example, if you explain it to me as if I was 5 years old, and then if I was 15 years old, but then explain it to me if I was 65 years old, it's very similar to the 5-year-old.
Interesting. Wow, that's an interesting point.
So once you learn it that way, you will never forget it. This really highly complex concepts of what you are dealing with. So I think, yes, AI really can augment our own intelligence in that way. It's easier to grasp more difficult concepts or ideas that way.
And potentially it will go a step further. It will itself start creating art in its own way that's authentic to this medium, to itself.
Yes, I believe so too. It's growing rapidly. So everything that we see today, tomorrow will be already better.
I mean, this is a subject matter that has to be looked at from different angles, different perspectives, and certainly from the perspective of art, but also from the philosophical perspective, because as you know, this is a very important question, perhaps an issue right now. throughout the world, and people are asking these questions. You know, they're very, very much apprehensive of where this will take us. You know.
Oh yeah, it can be AI can be abused like everything.
Yeah.
That's why all of my artists, I've chosen all of them. One reason is I love all of these artists, all of these styles, and the other is they're all in public domain. So copyright is very important, and so I believe it should be honored. You should not be allowed to steal from a living artists their ideas, their concepts, their artworks. So how copyright works is 75 years after the death of the artist, then it goes in public domain, then you can use it.
So in this particular case, what does it mean to own a copyright as an artist? Is that what you're referring to?
Yes.
So how exactly do you see that?
What I did is...
And I'll tell you later on why I'm asking this question. Yeah.
So what I did is I purchased copyright rights, of course. I've protected myself using only public domain artworks to teach AI. So it wouldn't. It's not an ethical plunder of any kind. It is public domain. You can now use all of the original artworks of these artists and do with them whatever you please. You can print them, sell them, do whatever, put them on mugs, on whatever you want. It's allowed. So that's how I because I honor and respect art.
A couple of months ago, we've had a discussion with a professor from Oxford, and we were discussing about the use of AI in higher education institutions. You know, how do universities, in other words, use AI? And of course, now universities are polarized. You know, there's a great deal of subjectivity in how universities apply AI in their teaching curriculum and so on. And this professor said the same thing. He said we should, apart from the fact that, you know, we still don't have a guideline, a universal university guideline as to how we should approach this subject matter, but he said that AI should be associated with copyright. So
absolutely, that's what we're missing.
I guess that's exactly what you're saying.
Yes.
Here. You know, whatever
it
AI,
should be protected.
Should be protected. Yeah.
And I think we're coming to that time in our lives where it will be. It's getting stronger and stronger push from everyone to honor copyright. So I believe it will be, and but it's like with everything. For example, for an artist, you have a blank canvas, so you can do whatever you want with it. You can ignore it, or with a piece of blank paper, you can write the most beautiful book you can think of, or not. AI is the same. It's there. We can't ignore it. We can either use it to better ourselves or not.
It seems to me that AI, AI is borrowing from different materials to answer our prompts, essentially.
Absolutely, yes.
So perhaps people are not seeing that as being authentic on the one hand, but then, you know, when AI produces perhaps a new idea, a new hypothesis, then we should be, you know, I think it would be legitimate to sort of protect that AI's sort of idea as a copyrighted idea, and it would help us so we can refer to that as a copyrighted idea generated or hypothesis generated by AI.
Yes,
you know,
absolutely.
It works both ways.
When you give it a prompt, think outside the box.
Yeah.
It gives you that.
Yeah. And we're actually, I believe we're going to hit that from what I understand, you know, in terms of how AI is being developed right now in cutting edge labs around the world, like DeepMind and Isomorphic and so on, Google's labs and other labs for that matter. It seems to me that we're going to hit that point fairly soon.
Oh, yeah.
In an inflection point at which AI is going actually to generate new hypotheses that we've never seen before. And I'm talking legitimate hypotheses in science, for example. And, it's probably happening already in some areas, some fields, but, we want to see that happening in science in particular because that's easily measurable. We can measure the quality of the hypothesis, for example.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I love there's one AI, it's called ChatPDF, where I actually talked with my own master's work. What I've done here for at the International Birch University, it was glorious. I could talk to my own work, and it explained what. So I wanted to see if there's anything that I failed to explain. It showed me where stuff was missing, what I could think of, how to. I've written my own work, of course, but I wanted to understand before I sent it to my mentor, was there anything missing?
Fantastic. Please share it with our master's and PhD students. Which app and how do you use it? How did you use it?
Now?
Yeah. Just
Sure.
in a nutshell, just as a suggestion, perhaps to our masters and any masters and PhD students, to sort of prompt their own work, to fact check, to sort of check, complete different checks before they submit to their mentor.
Yes.
Some sort of
just to make it easier for the mentor and for yourself.
Exactly.
So what I did is I uploaded my own work into ChatPDF, and then I asked it very specific questions. So check my so these are my hypotheses. Did I answer all of them? Is it understandable? Now, read again. I said, explain it to me as if I was a 5 years old. I love that. It's so fun. It goes
Fantastic.
so simple, and it tattoos on your mind immediately. That option. But then I asked, okay, now read it as if you were my mentor and tell me specifically what's missing. What should I add? Should I deduct some things? Is it understandable? Did I actually, is my conclusion, does my conclusion actually make sense with what I wrote? And it did. It helped me. It showed me, so on this page, this sentence doesn't make sense. It could be rewritten like this to have more sense. So it helped. It was so much easier, and then I could look for more other research papers to add to kind of convey my idea better.
It's a great example.
Professional way.
Yeah, it's a great example of how AI enhances or augments our ability to reason, to think, and to express ourselves.
Yes, of course.
It enhances actually critical reasoning. When you start interacting with the AI system and there's something wrong with the hypothesis, then here are the ways to improve this. Do you agree? Let's think this critically through and so on. Yeah,
and depending what kind of a person you are, if you're easily offended, say, be very gentle. If you're not, like me, I'm like, be brutally honest.
Fair enough. Correct.
Simon Cowell, like,
yeah.
Straight on. Just tell me what's wrong. But yeah, it can. It really, it's a tool, and we can use it for anything and everything.
Absolutely. Do you use any particular algorithm when you conduct your own work, or do you simply rely on Midjourney for their sort of LLM?
Well,
experience.
I've been using 8 of them, so just to see what could with which could I achieve a better result. My main one is Midjourney, especially with these options that I now have. But I've not. I did train. I have a couple of AI agents that I've trained to think, like, and to do like the specific artist. So yes, that's what I do.
Midjourney, please send us a check for the promotion. Thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, it seems to me that, you know, in the context of continuous interpretation of reality, AI has its place, absolutely. And it's a new procedure, you know, that will open up new perspectives for us to understand ourselves and the world around us in a different way.
Yes. I mean, it can be your friend or can be your enemy. I used to always say Google is my friend.
Google is your friend.
Yes, but now, well, AI is my friend.
AI is your friend. I've got so many questions, Mia, things that I'd like to ask you to sort of discuss with you, and one of those has to do with the future. How do you envisage our future? Where is it going to be? In other words, do you see a utopia taking place in our society, or do you see something, let's say, that looks like a dystopia in our society in terms of how artists are going to use AI?
Well, I'm a very positive person, so I would say, but I would never say utopia. That's boring. But I would say something close to it. How artists today can use AI, they can brainstorm with AI to think of ideas, to see would this look better with oil paint or with the watercolors, or finished in clay. How could the humans are the ones that are giving ideas, and AI can be either helpful or not if you use it or don't. So I think it could be a really good, especially once we get to the time where it is going to be protected. Your copyright will be protected. We're coming to that. We're at the edge of those regulations. They're being written, so it's coming. So I firmly believe everyone's artwork will be protected, because today, nothing stops any human from copying your style. And what all of these artists also have done in their time was copying themselves. It's just called being inspired. So, for example, what Picasso did was he was famous for it, for saying, if it's worth it, I'll steal it. So a lot of his artist friends would hide stuff from it. Because
not a great reference for Picasso.
Well, in the end, he was proud of it. How he was afraid of photography. So during his lifetime, photography came to life. It became mainstream. So a lot of artists actually lost their livelihood due to photography. Because who would stand there for weeks posing for a portrait when you can go and do it for a fraction of a price? So it happened before. It's going to happen in the future again. Who knows what comes after AI? We don't. It's just the only thing we can actually believe it's going to happen, it's change. Nothing else. Nothing ever stays the same, because to live is to move. So we have to move and improve with it.
our existence is, in fact, conditioned by our interaction with the world around us.
Absolutely.
Living forms, artificial forms of intelligence, whatever comes, whatever interacts with us, nature,
Yes.
that determines how we actually see, understand ourselves, not just within our existential framework, but also within the universe and so on. It's a very, I guess, realistic and important and also, it's a necessary question.
Yes.
Yeah. That we
For
pose
example,
ourselves.
after photography, we've come into we've got Photoshop.
Yeah, exactly.
So that happened too. We survived. After Photoshop, we got video. That we survived. We adjusted. We survived. Whoever couldn't, who was very, I would say, with a thick mindset or unable to change, they were stuck behind. So it's be like Picasso, change all the time.
Yeah.
Don't steal, but be inspired.
So, Mia, for you, what value do you see that's being created out of this art form?
Well, what I wanted to achieve, I wanted for people to be inspired with these old great artists. I wanted to reinvigorate art, to show it in a different way, but maybe to have people so intrigued to see the originals, to actually go and check out museums and see how these great artists actually, what they produced, because it gives you this entryway. What I used to have on my website, I wanted people to be inspired and to go and check out galleries to see the originals. I wanted a door frame for people who would never consider going to galleries or check out some old paintings, but now to give them this new outlook on life. That's what I wanted. The other thing is I really want to do charity work. So that's where all of my art is going towards. It's the NFTs.
What's an NFT?
NFT is a non-fungible token. It is
a new term, yeah.
It's a new term. It's something. The easiest way to explain it is if you have cryptocurrency, it's a bunch of code, and we humans say it's worth something. NFT is the same. It's a bunch of code that explains that this is my artwork, and this artwork is coded onto the network, and it's a sort of digital, let's say, ID
print,
yes,
lock.
yes. That this is my artwork. It belongs to me, and what I wanted to do is I have one NFT. It's for the New York collection. So what I've done is I've actually contacted UNICEF, Every Child Network.
Wow.
And once the auction is finalized, I plan to donate the entire 100% of profits towards them, because children are our future, and I want to do only charity work with my NFTs. The next one will be Oceana, because oceans. Because what was interesting for me is the oceans produce most of our oxygen. Not just the forests. I love forests too, so it'll be everything that I believe in, and to use my artwork for something really
fantastic. Do you work with students as well?
I've had this lecture at the pedagogical faculty here in Sarajevo, and I wanted to see, and I have also my research paper done on that. I wanted to see if the way I presented art, 523 years of history of art, to them in a different and new way, will it affect them, and will they actually learn this way? And it was hugely successful. I was surprised. They were surprised. They couldn't believe. And then I loved their questions. They were like, but how? So when I finish this faculty, how do I use it?
No, it's a fair question.
And at the top of my hand, I was like, you know what? When you're in a classroom and you see everything that's available to you, why not take a picture of it and ask AI to give you 20 ideas what you could do with kids? They were like, mind blown. I'm like, use it as a tool. Don't use it to grade students or your pupils. That's horrific.
Yeah.
But use it as something that will help your work. So they were surprised. And then what I did is I had a workshop with them to explain to AI their life in 20 sentences, who they are, what they're interested in, what they're doing right now, and have it paint a picture of their life. And then I said, okay, now let's go 20 years into the future. Write what your biggest dreams are and have it do that. They left the lecture so inspired. They were like, oh, I'm putting this on my phone, on my screen as a background, so I'll know this is my future, this is what I want to do. I was like, yeah, but you can change your future at any point. Just no one is keeping you from it. Just do. Be courageous.
If students decided to get in touch with you, do you encourage that? Would you encourage?
Absolutely, yes.
Students pop you an email, but
yeah, Mia@miafendi.com, sure.
Perhaps they should think that through before, perhaps create something special for you. Email is a form of art.
Email is a form of art, so they can either write it themselves or use ChatGPT. I really don't mind.
Fair enough. What do you, Mia, suggest? What would you suggest to students starting out? Let's say graphic design students, or generally students in general. What's your advice?
I would advise everyone to read a book called Rejection Proof. It's what helped me with thousands of rejections. I've written a lot of emails. Rejection Proof is a book that, because when they're starting out, they will be rejected. It has nothing to do with AI. It's just life. For every job opening, they're only accepting one. Hundreds of others will apply. But don't take it personally. It's an exercise in interviews. So I believe that book really puts it into perspective that every rejection, as Professor Ermin Cero said, every rejection is also a teaching point. So it'll give you a little thicker skin and think, who cares? Gamify it. So just write down 100 of them.
It, yeah.
Whatever they want to achieve in life. It doesn't have to be just a job. They can do whatever. The world is open, and it's never been easier. With social media, you can be whatever you want to be, and just post your stuff, publish your stuff online, and just see the reactions. But as I've learned from all of these artists, art critics hated them, but the public loved them.
Interesting. Yeah.
So just read the book, Rejection Proof, and go on your merry way. There are no gatekeepers. You're your own worst gatekeeper. Just think, what's the best that can happen? We in Bosnia have that saying, what's the worst that can happen? no. What's the best that can happen? So,
thank you, Mia. And finally, you're delivering the public lecture titled "The Machine That Dreams Sarajevo." What will your audience experience? This is, let me just remind everyone, it's going to be held at the Academy of Sciences and Arts of Bosnia and Herzegovina on the 28th of November at 12 o'clock. There's a link. We are going to post the link, the online link of your lecture in the podcast description. So what will your audience experience during the lecture?
So I would explain what machine learning is and to show on every single artwork how I've achieved each and every one of them. So I would make a cross-section of what these artists. I won't make it boring. It won't be this boring art lecture because I thought of it. It took too long. So what I did is I'm going to be talking about these artists, who they were. For example, did you know that Vasily Kandinsky had a neuro disease called synesthesia? He could see color. He was a violinist. He was a professor of law. He was a diplomat. He saw Monet's painting, and he could hear it in his head. That's the moment he decided he's giving all of that up. He's going to study art in his 40s, like someone. So
that's a fascinating
so
story.
all of these little tidbits, again, what they used, what pigments did they use, what was important to them. So
I mean, Kandinsky is largely known as an abstract artist.
yes, so
And I didn't know about that, but I have seen violinists having that condition, and they would explain it exactly in those terms. They actually, when they play music notes, they actually associate colors with specific notes, and they see music in color.
yes.
Wow.
So that's why all of the artworks that Kandinsky actually published had names of compositions, because he would either be inspired by classical art, or he would compose something himself and then paint it. So what I did is I imagined what a composition Sarajevo would be. I put in all of our history, all of it, pictures, everything. But then I wanted to see the emotional side of Sarajevo. Because I've done over 24 cities in the world, Sarajevo is still the most interesting one because we have everything. We are really a jewel of well, I'm very, it's personal, but yeah, we're such an interesting city from the point of culture to history to architecture, everything. So it was glorious to see the composition Sarajevo from Vasily Kandinsky. So stuff like that. I hope it will be interesting. We'll see.
Mia, thank you so much. This has been fascinating, both creative and fascinating, and I certainly look forward to your lecture.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.